Starfield. So I have come to notice that this game turned out, well, almost exactly how most Bethesda fans expected. To truly understand what I mean by this, well, some context is needed. So let's go back a bit. To explain my relationship with Bethesda, the best place to start would be my own introduction to the company. Although I would have been absolutely obsessed with Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall, it would not come to be, as it's only with the third installment where my journey would begin. Like with a lot of homes at the time, we had a communal family PC, not meant for gaming per se, however it was adequate. And even with our state-of-the-art dial-up internet, my selection of games would originate primarily from either whatever my brother dragged home, or which demo was found on the PC format disc that month. So, my experiences was mainly platformers, racing games and shooters, the likes, demos. So the level designs I were accustomed to were, well, linear at best. Set for Fallout, which and I quote, "We're too young to play." I might be paraphrasing a bit. Anyways, one fateful day, as chance might have it, I, of all people, was the one to drag home a game on a copy disc, a disc that was unceremoniously handed to me by a rare thing for a PC gamer to have at the time. A console friend of all things. You see, back then the consoles were generally the superior gaming platform, and one would rigorously be reminded of the fact. But I digress. It was a crudely printed case with a disc in it that simply had written in permanent marker, Morrowind. I. That made no sense. Anyways, calm down. This was simply my introduction to the whole genre, which led me to purchase the game with its expansions eventually, and the follow-up game and its expansions, and so on. You get the point. I would not be able to just load this game onto our little communal compute, as it was a massive 700 megabyte game. Combine that with my obliviousness of the adventures that awaited me on said disc. My enemies proved greater than my apathies, so I simply left it. It would not be until my father upgraded his computer and his older PC would become the new village bicycle that the Jeremy Soul drums would start beating, and the disc would unearth, presenting itself to me once again. This time, however, there was space on the computer, and I was able to successfully install the game. And in I went. The music just resonated with me. I fell in love before even playing the game. Random fact, this was actually the song that my wife walked down the aisle with. But I digress. The loading screen giving me a quick glimpse of the mysterious creatures that awaited me in Tamriel. The atmosphere thickened with mystery and adventure. The exposition passing by cementing the intrigue, and faded back into darkness. A gravelly voice addressing me.
Wake up.
My character opened his eyes to what is in my opinion still the coolest looking Elder Scrolls character ever. Cleverly complemented by the continuation of the menu soundtrack. I was a prisoner on a ship being dropped off. And the new romance of me having as little idea of what was waiting for me outside of the ship as the avatar that was representing me. I followed the guard as he guided me along the ship's belly to the upper deck. Ship's belly? Anyways. Then instructed me to go out the hatch. I took a deep breath, primarily to focus and find the use key. Outside I was greeted by daylight, a friendly little helmsman that guided me along, admiring that stealth strider with that distinct sound, before being greeted by Ewan McGregor.
Hello there.
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where.
I can create my own character! Please keep in mind this concept was foreign to me. And of course the first thing I did was pick a dark elf to try and recreate that first bad boy that looked over me when I was vulnerably shaking. I finished up, walked over to the door, and then Blank. Nothing. My computer was actually off. I switched the computer back on and could not get back into the game quick enough. I went through the loading screens, opened my eyes to the dark stud, and as I went out the hatch, the same thing happened again. Blank. I tried this a couple more times with similar results, although it kept happening sooner every time, so at a point I just threw in the towel respectfully and called it a day. The next day I noticed that the computer did not go off on regular use, and similar to the previous day, first time I would boot the game, it ran longer until the computer's inevitable apocalyptic behavior. And so I discovered the wondrous world of computer components, and that they go sleepy sleep when they get too hot. So after some ghetto kid troubleshooting, I tried opening up the case and placed a massive fan next to it, and by Azura, it worked! For the first time, I was able to complete the character creation, made my doppelganger, and step off the ship, before storming into the building. Not understanding any of the information Bolly was asking from me, I skimmed over it and went with the skills I thought looked the coolest, you know, long swords and shit, and went on my merry way. Absolutely flabbergasted with the next fact, you know, the one that you can pick up anything. Well, pretty much. And I did exactly that. And I lost it all once I discovered that I should not pick up stuff that's not mine in front of NPCs. So many first experiences. That final golden armored buff boy had a tiny wall of text, and this being back in my school days meant I was still kind of allergic to reading. So I literally just clicked things until I was able to move along. Dirty Bethesda hiding the progression behind text I actually had to read through. It was a quaint little town with some colourful folk all about, including some Paris Hilton-eyed looking elfie, and nothing showing me where to go. After looking around the town a bit, I noticed that there were no walls or any noticeable boundaries that confined me, so I just decided to head straight north. And I went, and went. To my surprise, I could just keep on going. Even saw some rando fall from the sky. And that voice. I nearly crapped my pants. Anyways, once again to my surprise, I was able to loot everything off him, leaving him naked and even wearing it. And this officially broke me. What is this game? Why has it eluded me all my life, and is there more like it? The adventures continued on. I actually traversed every single block the map had to offer. I even had to restart the game at some point because I already collected and misplaced so many quest items that I had no idea where I left it. I was absolutely engulfed. Looking back in hindsight, this was the perfect game for me. Bethesda could do nothing wrong. Not the clunky combat, not all that. It didn't matter. This game was perfect. The fanboy lenses laid quite thick over mine eyes. I made a vow to always keep a watchful eye for whenever this company called Bethesda was planning on releasing something new. Oh, and did they have something in store for us?